Hey there, my name is Jeff Finley, and I'm the author of Wake Up, the morning routine that will change your life. And thank you for buying my package. And these are the bonus videos. And I'm going to start off the first bonus video with my story. So, who am I? Well, it's a big question, but when I'm asked that question, I typically will tell people that I'm an artist, a designer, an entrepreneur, or a creator of some sort. And I'd been creating and making art, all my life, and it wasn't until, I went to college for art and design and animation. I wanted to become an animator. I got into graphic design out of college because I was kind of jaded with the animation scene. Then, after college, I got a job freelancing. I just started working for myself, and that's how I became an illustrator, and I designed a lot of stuff for the music industry and t-shirts and posters, and started building a reputation as a designer. Then in 2006, I got into a company called Go Media. They offered me a partnership, and I joined their team. And through then the next 9 years of my life, I was partner at Go Media, graphic designer, and illustrator, and also business owner and entrepreneur. So I got used to starting new projects all the time, working with lots of different creative people, and I started a festival in 2010 for creatives. So it kind of blended my passions for music, film, and design. And me and the company, we had our share of fame and fortune, and it was always my dream to kind of get published in a magazine or get some recognition. Of course, it would help us in the company. It would help us pay the bills, and it would also help establish our credibility so we get more clients and all that. But it got to a point where that all started to become boring and meaningless to me. And I looked at my life and was starting to question a lot of things about what I was doing. Even though the things that we're doing were considered successful or good, I wasn't finding much enjoyment or fulfillment in it anymore. And this is what I call my depression, because I never was physically, clinically diagnosed with depression. I never took any depression medication, but it was like a year and a half of feeling burnt out and depressed and not wanting to do anything hardly. I was really only just doing the bare minimum that I could to get by, and I felt like I was letting my business partners down and letting my event directors and my team down from the events that I managed. And in 2013, I finally admitted to my partners and my friends that I was depressed. And that was a huge step for me because I was in denial. I didn't want to be depressed because I thought I had no reason to be. I had an outwardly successful life that was, filled with great things, and who could be depressed about that? But I knew it was something bad when I started taking naps in my car during the middle of the day because I just wanted to get out of the office. I couldn't stand being around the work that I had to do. It was too. Even the smallest thing felt like the most annoying hassle ever. So anyway, in 2013, I admitted I was depressed, and then that's when things started to kind of turn up for me. Like it was like, 6 months later, I started to find one thing after another that inspired me or gave me a bit of insight or relief. And then I found out about this guy, Sean Webb, who had a spirituality podcast, which I was not into spirituality at all at the time, and I was actually pretty resistant to getting into anything spiritual because it was totally different from my worldview at the time. And so I was hesitant to listen to his stuff, but he had this thing where he talked about the ego and the sense of self. This is this false self versus this true self. And so what is this false self? Well, first he asked me, who are you? And I would give him my Twitter bio, essentially. Like, I'm an artist, a designer, a musician, entrepreneur. I wrote this book and that book. I did this and I did that. These are the things that you probably know me by. And he said, that's not who you are. He didn't tell me this personally. He told me this on his podcast. But this is what he was talking about, this sense of self. We have this reputation, our personality that we develop throughout all of the years of our life. And that's kind of what I was what is the word? It's like I was no longer satisfied with who I was, or I was questioning everything I was doing. And since I identified with all of that stuff, I started to feel like I was in question. Like, how do I matter? That's what we all want. And then when I got into that, it really opened the doors for me. He's the one that talked to me about depression, and or taught me about meditation and said that, that's a way you can kind of access your true self, which is the self, the part of you that it's always there underneath all of those external identities that you associate with, whether it be your religion or your political affiliation, you're a man, you're a woman, you are, gay, you're straight. Doesn't matter any of those things, or what sports team you like. So those are all sorts of false identities. And then when you attach yourself to those, you have thoughts about those that kind of continue to prove that those are part of who you are. But when you meditate, you can detach from that. You can understand that there's a deeper nature of you, and that's what inspired me enough to get interested in spirituality, because the way he approached it was really practical, and I knew intuitively that there was something more to life than my job, my relationship, the work I did, the clothes I wore, all of the stores and shopping. There had to be more to life than that, and that's when I started to wake up. And what followed was a morning routine habit. I started waking up early because that is the way I knew that I could carve out time for me. I got into habit change, and when I realized I can change my habits and take things that were bad and quit my bad habits and start good habits, that's when I knew that things can really start to take off. And man, that just blew the doors wide open for me. I started finding one thing after another about habit change, and then I read Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning. It inspired me, gave me so much more motivation and energy to wake up early. And I did, and I woke up early, and I managed to string together days, months, and eventually I woke up early for a whole year. And this was crazy. I mean, it was 2 hours earlier. And I'll get into how to wake up early and the things that you're going to, when you get into waking up early, the things you're going, the challenges you'll face. But that was the single most life-changing habit that I ever did, because it opened the door for all these happy habits to enter my life: meditation, journaling, gratitude, affirmations, and in the space to focus on me, the space to focus on my happiness and my fulfillment. It wasn't about getting more work done. It was about, who am I? What do I want? What's my life about? And I got to care for myself in a way that no one else had ever cared for me before. And that's one of the biggest life lessons that I've learned through waking up early. That, and I'm not who I thought I was, and I don't have to carry that baggage of being this entrepreneur or this successful designer. That's so much weight to carry. Couldn't I just be who I am right now without any of that stuff? And that idea was so intriguing to me that that's what sparked me to continue to explore more and more and more about who I am and where I come from and what's my purpose here on this planet. And that's my story. I woke up early for a year, and a little off and on, but I was mostly on. I was mostly waking up early, and I wrote a post about it on my blog, and it turns out that it became my most popular post by far on my blog. Waking up early 1 year later. And through the popularity of that post, my favorite habit tracking app, Lyft, which is now called Coach.me, contacted me and said that, hey, they're doing this new coaching thing on the app. You want to be a wake up early coach? And I was like, wow, this is awesome, because at that time I was already deciding to quit my job, to quit Go Media, to quit my partnership. And then this came along, and I was like, perfect, it's going to help me out. I get to coach people on the wake up early habit, which is something that really changed my life. So, and that's what led to the creation of this book. A lot of people are interested in waking up early, and if you wouldn't be listening to this if you weren't interested in waking up early. And I never thought that I would be coaching or writing a book about waking up early at all, because it's not how I envisioned my life turning out. But hey, this is what's happening in the moment, and this is what I'm doing. This is my piece of the puzzle for the time being. This is what I can contribute right now, and I'm very excited to do so. And without further ado, I just want to get into how you can wake up early and change your life. And I'm a completely different person, than I was 2 years ago now. And I love my life more than ever. And yeah. So that's it. I want to help you wake up early and change your life and help you create the life that you desire. Begin your path of awakening, of self-discovery, self-mastery, to help you get more inner peace, clarity, find your purpose in life, and all those good things. So let's get into it. Let's wake up early, and we'll do this together. Thanks.